南雲くん、いっぱいありがとう。これはお礼よ。
八重樫？
それと、あの時言ったことは、冗談じゃないってことの証よ。
Alright, we are just one episode away from the last episode of the season with Arifureta, and I am big time sad. Now, I am also a little perturbed. A little perturbed. A little scratchy scratch at the episode that we got. This episode was episode 15. It was all focused around Kouki, and as I'm sure you share, I effing hate Kouki. I hate this dude so effing much. He's the worst character of the show. He is the try-hard, die-hard, goody-two-shoes who can't think for himself if his life depended on it. And even when it does depend on it, he still can't do it. He gets freaking tainted by an evil version of himself who then he decides to merge with. What an idiot. This whole episode was just about Kouki. And I don't know how, like, I was talking to you guys in the comments last week, and we were talking about Kouki as well. And in my head, I knew Kouki was up last or up next. But for some reason, when I started this week's episode, I went, you gotta be shitting me. I was like, Kouki? I was like, no. Like, we're supposed to be moving on to the end of the labyrinth. And then I was like, okay, we have Kouki. Let's get him done. And let's move on. But no, we can't, because the whole time is him losing to himself and then losing himself to himself, because Shizuku ends up walking in, being held by our boy Hajime, and he starts losing it. He's like, Hajime, you're the real villain, blah, 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 blah. And even Hajime's like, what? He's like, what? He's like, dude, that's you. Go defeat you. He's like, what? Go, dude. And he's like, no, Hajime, you brainwashed Shizuku. And Shizuku's like, what? So then he loses incredibly, stupendously to Hajime over and over and over. And then I love when Yue and all the group come, and Yue's like, what's up with this idiot? He's like, he merged with himself. And she's like, what a loser. She's like, what a loser. And then Hajime kicks his ass. And he's like, hey, Ori, heal the buffoon up a little bit, but not all the way. We got to drag his ass to the end of the labyrinth. And now they're going to have to deal with him later being part dummy, being part evil idiot. And that's the whole thing. And that's pretty much where the episode ended. You know what I mean? And then they end with going towards the palace, which is the end of the labyrinth that they're going to face. And that's pretty much it. That's like takes us to the end of the episode. The only biggest thing, like the biggest win we got this episode, personal win at least, was Shizuku admitting her love to Kaori specifically, but then to the whole group, and then kissing, she kissed, but still kiss, kissing Hajime, just really solidifying and apologizing, for her love and the fact that, she's in love and blah, blah. And Kaori, I love Kaori. She's my favorite. She's such a good girl. Kaori's like, don't sweat it. She's like, the heart wants what it wants. I get it. I know. She's like, we'll share him. You know what I mean? We'll share him. You get a leg. She gets a thigh. Yue gets what you think you get. Tio gets backdoor. We will share a piece. So yeah, it all worked out. But that was probably the best moment of the show for sure. But the rest of it, my eyes were just rolling so far back into my head that I'm like, gotta like get them back in. So yeah, that's Arifureta episode 15, and I'm gonna see you guys for episode 16 as we truck through the end of the season, which I can't believe we're freaking here already, which is absolutely nutty that we're finally towards the end, because we had a big break, whether it was a break of choice or a break of studio, but hopefully we get an announcement for a season 4. And because from what you guys told me is this is going to end right here at this labyrinth place, and that's all we're going to see. And then the next core, or the next part, would be the start of the next season. And I'm pretty sure you guys can tell me. I'm pretty sure in the comments you guys can tell me, but like I'm pretty sure that Arifureta is done. Like it's no longer in serialization, so that's a good thing for us being able to get a completion. And then hopefully we'll get an OVA or 2 or 3, much like we have during the in betweens of all the other seasons as well. So yeah. my friends, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being with me all season long through the split seasons. Arifureta, one love. You know, it can't do any wrong. Even this episode, 8 out of 10. Kouki pisses me off, but still 8 out of 10. All right, my friends, I'm going to see you guys next week for the last episode of the season. Remember, shout out who's best girl in the comments. Peace.